Super Typhoon Goni is a very powerful typhoon on November the 1st as of 1 a.m. in the Philippines. It was located at 13.8 degrees north, 125.3 degrees east. If this storm makes landfall at this current intensity, it will be the strongest storm to strike the Philippines since Typhoon Haiyan back in 2013. Right now it has winds of 190 miles an hour, that's 305 kilometers per hour, and a pressure of 878 millibars, very low right now. This movement is west-southwest at 50 miles per hour, that's 25 kilometers per hour, and is a stage 8 on the CDPS scale. Looking more in depth into the CDPS scale for Catanduanes, wind speed remains the highest, and we will likely be seeing a Category 5 landfall very shortly for this storm, so preparations need to be completed. This is where the storm is located right now, with winds of 190 miles per hour, very intense. Interestingly enough, its tropical storm force wind field only extends about 100 miles out from the center since it has undergone an aerial replacement cycle. It's still fairly small, so great impacts will likely be limited to close to the storm's center. However, that doesn't mean that rainfall won't be that bad, as the storm is still a typhoon and heavy rainfall amounts will extend far out from the center. Right now the storm is only 80 miles away from Cameron, 147 from Naga, 282 from Lipa City, 298 miles from Manila, which the forecast factors take it directly over Manila, and 317 miles from Bimero. Pagasa has raised Signal 4 warnings for parts of the eastern Philippines, as the storm is forecast to make landfall very soon. So this is what our intensity estimates are saying right now. You can see the water vapor imagery up there in the top left hand corner. Satellite running a little bit higher with winds of 195 miles an hour. We may increase intensity still, so stay tuned to our social media outlets on that. However, all satellite estimates are saying that they lower, but based on, in the last few frames, its eye has really rounded itself out. We've decided to increase its intensity once more. So this is our current forecast track. We are currently forecasting a Category 5 landfall with winds of 175 miles an hour on the island that it is approaching right now, and then general weakening as it pushes inland. We do note that the storm will still likely be a Category 3 or a Category 2 when it passes over Manila in around 24 hours from now. This is what we are seeing right now for the rainfall forecast. Generally, we're looking towards where the storm is going to pass through for the heaviest rainfall, and then the storm will push towards Vietnam, which they really don't need rainfall, and heavy rainfall will be falling over there. You can also see Atsani stalling off at the Philippine coast again, so areas potentially affected by Goni will need to be on watch for Atsani later down the line. This is what sea surface temperatures are looking like right now, 30 Celsius or so under the storm right now. Well enough to favor a storm of this intensity, and perhaps more intensification could be on the way. This is what we're looking at right now for the track forecast. The AEMN or the GFS model, interestingly going further south, which would mean a little more landing direction, but would take the storm further south away from Manila. However, they would still be on the northern side, which means a lot stronger winds from Manila, so that's a solution potentially. The CTCX and the HWF are also shown there, and the general premises is roughly the same: a landfall in the Philippines and then pushing towards Vietnam. This is what the models are saying right now for the storm currently. General weakening is forecast to begin relatively soon, however it may intensify in the short term. Wind shear is on a little bit of an increase. It'll increase as the storm pushes through the Philippines, but then decrease once it gets back over South China Sea. However, sea surface temperatures do go off a cliff once the storm gets into the South China Sea, so that'll ultimately most likely kill it as it approaches Vietnam. This is what the water vapor imagery is looking like right now. Look at the storm. Absolutely perfect eye over the eye temperature around 15 to 20 degrees Celsius, but higher at some points. So it's certainly quite the formidable storm at this time, approaching the Philippines with unparalleled intensity, 190 miles an hour, and all preparations should be rushed to completion as the storm should make landfall in the next few hours. Stay tuned to our social media outlets and our YouTube channel, where we will probably be going live later this morning in the Philippines as the storm approaches. Stay safe.